Horoscope predictions.
Aries.
Aries, today's rhythm feels slower than what you might prefer, but it's not a setback, it's a recalibration. The energy around you asks for patience and follow through, especially in situations that test your endurance. A project or plan that seemed straightforward may reveal hidden details, forcing you to double back and refine what you started. While this might feel frustrating at first, it's also a chance to build something more stable and lasting. Professionally, your leadership instincts could be called upon. Someone may rely on your initiative, but you'll notice that the best progress comes when you balance confidence with listening. The challenge today isn't speed, it's consistency. Take time to assess where your effort is going. Focus beats force. In personal matters, emotions may surface in subtle ways. You could find yourself reacting more sensitively to tone or timing, not because you're overthinking, but because you're becoming more aware of how others impact your energy. Relationships today benefit from calm, honest communication. Your directness is a strength when paired with empathy. Financially, avoid impulsive decisions. Stability builds through steady management, not risk-taking. By evening, something small, a message, a kind gesture, a brief conversation could remind you that patience is paying off, even if results haven't fully materialized yet. Progress is happening behind the scenes. Stay grounded, stay observant, and let momentum rebuild naturally. Lucky colors: scarlet, olive, taupe. Lucky numbers: 5, 16, 47.
Taurus.
Taurus, today brings a mix of practicality and emotional depth, asking you to pay attention to both what you feel and what's right in front of you. You might find yourself managing responsibilities that feel heavier than usual, or navigating a conversation that carries more emotional weight than expected. The day encourages steady thinking and grounded decision-making. Avoid rushing conclusions or reacting out of habit. If you've been balancing multiple priorities, this is a day to reorder them with clarity. Something about your routine or environment may feel stale, and small changes, like adjusting your schedule or reorganizing your space, can shift your mindset more than you'd expect. Professionally, reliability is your quiet strength. Others trust you because you follow through. In your emotional world, there's a call to acknowledge what's been quietly building under the surface. Someone may open up to you or express something that requires sensitivity, and your calm nature will help create safety for that exchange. However, don't carry more than your share. Boundaries matter as much as compassion. Financially, the energy favors practical management. You may review expenses, revisit plans, or make a small but lasting improvement. By late evening, peace comes through simple moments: finishing tasks, cooking a comforting meal, or sitting quietly in reflection. The stability you're craving isn't far away. It's just waiting for you to slow down and build it with intention. Lucky colors: cream, rust, forest. Lucky numbers: 4, 22, 36.
Gemini.
Gemini today brings a sharper awareness of where your focus is scattered and where it needs to be grounded. You might feel mentally pulled in several directions: messages, ideas, and tasks all competing for your attention, but the challenge lies in filtering what's truly worth your energy. There's a subtle reminder here that multitasking doesn't equal progress. Professionally, a situation or conversation could highlight where communication has become too surface level or fragmented. It's time to clarify intentions and reconnect with your purpose. You're sharp today, but clarity will come from simplifying, not speeding up. A short pause before responding can change the entire tone of a discussion or negotiation. In your personal world, emotions are layered beneath curiosity. You may find yourself analyzing someone's words or reading between the lines of a situation that's been uncertain. Rather than jumping to conclusions, allow space for truth to reveal itself naturally. People often show you what they mean over time, not in the moment. Relationships thrive today through thoughtful communication and humor that disarms tension. Financially, keep an eye on small details. One overlooked factor might become important later. As the day closes, expect a shift, maybe an idea, conversation, or realization that helps you tie together scattered threads. This is a day to listen more deeply, speak with intention, and realign your energy toward what truly deserves it. Lucky colors: charcoal, amber, sky. Lucky numbers: 9, 20, 41.
Cancer.
Cancer, today encourages you to step back from emotional noise and pay attention to what's actually nourishing you. You may have been giving a lot, time, energy, care, without realizing how much it's been draining your reserves. The morning might feel emotionally heavy, not because something's wrong, but because your body and mind are asking for rest, or simply a pause before the next move. This is a day that calls for emotional clarity, the kind that comes from listening to your intuition instead of the opinions around you. Professionally, you might feel a pull between obligation and creativity, between what you have to do and what you want to do. The trick today is to find a middle ground, complete your tasks, but carve out a little space for something that genuinely replenishes you. In your relationships, boundaries come into sharper focus. You may realize that someone's expectations have been quietly shaping your choices more than you noticed. Today is about reclaiming your emotional space without guilt. Conversations could reveal subtle dynamics: who truly listens and who only takes. It's not about cutting people off, but about noticing patterns that affect your peace. Financially, a more grounded approach helps. Even small adjustments in spending or saving can give you a stronger sense of control. By evening, a simple moment, perhaps music, quiet cooking, or a phone call with someone who understands you, restores your balance. You don't need to fix everything today. You just need to remember that your feelings are signals, not burdens. Lucky colors: sage, gold, clay. Lucky numbers: 7, 18, 42.
Leo.
Leo, today asks you to lead with quiet confidence rather than performance. You may feel pressure to show strength or enthusiasm when, in truth, you're evaluating your next steps more seriously than usual. There's a subtle turning point in your energy. You're realizing that long-term success depends less on proving yourself and more on refining your direction. The morning may bring distractions, perhaps through others' expectations or last-minute requests, but the deeper focus of the day is internal, reclaiming control over your time, energy, and priorities. Professionally, you might be revisiting a decision or weighing how much of yourself you're giving to something that doesn't fully align anymore. Taking a pause to reassess doesn't make you uncertain, it makes you intentional. In your personal life, the emotional tempo softens. Someone may reach out with sincerity or vulnerability, and it's worth listening without rushing to fix or lead. Today favors understanding over action, connection over control. Your charisma works best when it's grounded, when people see your authenticity rather than your confidence alone. Financially, avoid impulsive choices or overcommitting. Instead, focus on stabilizing what's already in motion. The evening brings relief once you allow yourself to unwind without expectation, maybe watching something comforting or reflecting quietly on how far you've come. You're learning that your real power doesn't always roar. Sometimes it simply holds steady in silence. Lucky colors: copper, navy, cream. Lucky numbers: 3, 27, 45. Virgo, today's energy centers on clarity through structure. You may feel the urge to sort, plan, or realign parts of your life that have been drifting slightly off course. The morning could bring minor inconveniences, delays, miscommunications, or tasks that take longer than they should. But rather than frustration, the universe is inviting you to slow down and correct details that others might overlook. This is a day to trust your discernment. You'll likely see what others miss. Professionally, you may find that tightening one system or addressing a small issue prevents a larger one later. You're refining efficiency, not chasing perfection. And that mindset shift changes everything. Emotionally, it's a time to check in with yourself instead of constantly adjusting for others. You've been supportive, dependable, and precise, but today asks whether you're giving that same care to your own needs. Someone may ask for help, and while it's natural for you to assist, make sure it doesn't pull you away from your own priorities. Financially, small practical decisions lead to long-term gain. Even organizing or reviewing something you've been putting off will clear mental clutter. The evening brings a sense of peace when order returns, that quiet satisfaction of knowing things are in their place, and you can finally exhale. Progress today isn't dramatic. It's steady, grounded, and real. Lucky colors: charcoal, lilac, ivory. Lucky numbers: 6, 24, 39.
Libra.
Libra, today's energy centers around finding balance between responsibility and emotional authenticity. You might start the morning feeling pulled in multiple directions, managing work demands, social expectations, or even subtle tension between what's practical and what feels right. The day asks you to slow down just long enough to reassess where your energy is being spent. It's not about doing more, but doing what matters most. In professional or collaborative spaces, you may find yourself acting as the voice of reason, keeping peace where others see conflict. But even as you hold harmony for others, don't forget to check in with yourself. Compromise can only go so far before it turns into quiet resentment, and today gives you the awareness to recognize that line. In your relationships, communication becomes a theme, not necessarily deep, emotional talks, but the kind of honest, everyday exchanges that build real trust. You might feel the need to clarify something left unsaid, or gently address a misunderstanding that's lingered too long. The key is measured honesty, expressing your truth without turning it into confrontation. Financially, moderation brings stability. A small decision about spending, saving, or planning may have longer-term benefits than expected. By evening, you'll crave calm, maybe a slow walk, music, or time offline to release the weight of decision fatigue. The balance you're searching for isn't in perfection. It's in learning how to protect your peace, even when life stays messy. Lucky colors: denim, rose, sandstone. Lucky numbers: 5, 21, 40.
Scorpio.
Scorpio, The energy around you today is introspective and quietly intense, not in a dramatic way, but in that slow, thoughtful process of understanding what's shifting beneath the surface. You might feel yourself observing more than speaking, reading between lines, or noticing subtleties that others completely miss. This is a powerful day for awareness, whether that's recognizing patterns in your relationships, seeing the truth about a work situation, or simply realizing how your emotions are guiding your choices. You don't need to act immediately on every insight. In fact, patience works better than reaction. Professionally, the day may bring moments that test your composure, but staying grounded will reveal where your power truly lies, not in control, but in clarity. In your personal life, emotional depth becomes a strength rather than a burden. Someone close to you might finally open up, or you may feel the need to have a real conversation about what's been left unsaid. Approach these exchanges with softness. You don't need to solve, just listen. You'll likely uncover that peace comes not from knowing everything, but from trusting your instincts when something feels real. Financially, avoid impulsive choices. Your intuition is strong, but practicality should guide the final decision. Tonight, reflection feels comforting, journaling, quiet music, or simply letting your thoughts breathe without trying to label them. You're not retreating. You're recharging, gathering energy for choices that will matter more in the days ahead. Lucky colors: slate, garnet, almond. Lucky numbers: 8, 19, 46.
Sagittarius.
Sagittarius today asks for focus, patience, and grounded optimism. You're forward-thinking by nature, but this day's energy is more about refining what you've already started rather than chasing the next big thing. You may feel like your mind is full of half-formed ideas or scattered tasks, but clarity will come once you slow down and prioritize. Professionally, someone might look to you for advice, or you may be asked to take the lead on something that's been sitting in limbo. This is a good moment to prove your dependability, not through words, but through consistent follow-through. You're learning that real progress often looks less like adventure and more like discipline in motion. On a personal level, today reminds you that growth doesn't always need excitement. Sometimes it comes quietly through responsibility, reflection, and maturity. A conversation could reveal how much you've evolved in how you handle emotions or disagreements. Instead of rushing to defend your point, you might find yourself simply listening, choosing peace over pride. Financially, there's momentum if you stay organized. This could mean making small, smart choices that set you up for stability later in the month. The evening carries a sense of grounding. You may crave calm routines, good food, or an honest talk that reconnects you with purpose. It's not a day for grand gestures. It's a day for meaningful steps that move your future forward in ways that finally stick. Lucky colors: mustard, indigo, coral. Lucky numbers: 2, 14, 38.
Capricorn.
Capricorn, today's focus is on practical growth and personal accountability. You may find yourself quietly reevaluating a plan, a commitment, or even the pace at which you've been working. Something about the day's rhythm invites you to slow down just enough to catch what you've been missing in the details. You're productive by nature, but today the universe is less about doing more and more about doing it right. You might feel pressure from deadlines or people expecting results, but your strength lies in approaching each step with discipline and clarity. Professionally, this is a powerful time to reassess structure, whether it's your schedule, your workspace, or even how you distribute your energy. Real progress will come from tightening your focus, not spreading yourself thin. Emotionally, you may feel a quiet shift in how you carry your responsibilities. You're realizing that while being dependable is part of who you are, you also deserve support, rest, and genuine recognition. Someone might look to you for guidance, and while you'll naturally offer it, make sure you don't absorb their stress in the process. Financially, today favors stability over risk. Small, deliberate moves now will secure bigger rewards later. The evening energy slows in a comforting way. Once the work is done, you'll find peace and order. The satisfaction of knowing you've kept things steady in an uncertain world. You're building something lasting, brick by brick, and days like this remind you that discipline is its own quiet form of success. Lucky colors: taupe, emerald, charcoal. Lucky numbers: 4, 22, 48.
Aquarius.
Aquarius, the air around you today is reflective and emotionally intelligent. You're seeing things from new angles, realizing that logic alone can't carry everything you've been trying to manage. The day may start with a mental fog or uncertainty, too many options, too many voices, or too many open tabs in your mind. But clarity comes once you decide to simplify. You might notice that your energy spikes and fades unpredictably, which is a signal to prioritize what's genuinely important instead of scattering your focus. Professionally, this is a day for quiet recalibration. You could find yourself questioning whether certain projects or partnerships truly align with your bigger goals. Let that reflection guide, not frustrate you. Insight comes through stillness more than action today. In your personal life, emotions run deeper than they appear on the surface. A conversation, memory, or unexpected message might stir something unresolved, not to unsettle you, but to help you understand what needs closure. Relationships feel more meaningful when you drop the need to analyze and simply listen. Someone may surprise you with honesty or vulnerability. Respond with the same openness you crave from others. Financially, caution pays off. Double-check numbers, fine print, or commitments before saying yes. By evening, your mood lightens as you begin to feel emotionally organized again, like puzzle pieces quietly falling into place. It's a day to reset mentally and emotionally, trusting that even when you're uncertain, you're still moving toward something real. Lucky colors: cobalt, ivory, brick. Lucky numbers: 7, 18, 33.
Pisces.
Pisces, today brings a grounded reminder to balance sensitivity with structure. You've likely been absorbing the moods and expectations of people around you, and while your empathy is a gift, it can also leave you mentally drained. The energy today asks you to protect your peace through better boundaries, both at work and in your personal life. You might wake up feeling emotionally scattered, but clarity returns once you give yourself time to center. Professionally, the day favors steady pacing. Avoid rushing or second-guessing yourself. A task or project you've been avoiding can finally be tackled if you break it into smaller, manageable steps. You don't have to finish everything today. Progress is enough. In relationships, there's a theme of emotional maturity. You're beginning to see how patterns repeat when communication is avoided. Someone may open up, or you might feel compelled to address something you've been holding in. Honesty brings calm, not conflict, when it's rooted in care. Financially, a modest, disciplined approach works best. Hold off on big purchases or emotional spending. By evening, your energy softens. Solitude feels healing rather than lonely. Music, journaling, or a quiet walk might help you reconnect to your inner rhythm. This is a day for returning to your emotional center, rebuilding from clarity instead of chaos. What you learn about yourself now will become the foundation for choices that feel genuinely aligned in the weeks ahead. Lucky colors: plum, sand, onyx. Lucky numbers: 9, 20, 41.
Don't forget to like, subscribe, and share this video for more daily star wisdom. Let me know your sign in the comments and how this day unfolds for you. I'll see you tomorrow for another celestial check-in. Thank you so much for watching.